Hello, and once again, welcome to McCrae's Keep for some digital figure painting. And we appear to not have a capture. Let's remedy that. That's better. And there is our bare figure of Alodna, minus her rather unique hair appliance, although we do have something in place for that. I'm not sure if that's where we're going to go with that, but we'll get her painted up and then we'll figure out something to do with her hair. We might leave it off altogether. It does, in the original art, it does appear to be actually serving a purpose with holding up her hair. And with the hairstyle we have with our miniature here, it does not appear to be necessary, although it could be a cool thing just to kind of identify the figure as that specific character. But in any case, here we are, and we are going to get going and see if we actually can't get her finished tonight. We'll see how the stream goes, and maybe we'll get her into a scene with the rest of the group that's finished so far. So let's get into edit mode here and go over to our material properties, and we're going to just rearrange our workspace a little bit here. This space up here is for listing all of the various parts and pieces of the model. We rarely have more than just a few, so we're going to snap this up here. Likewise, this large empty area down here really is just for the few settings of material that we get to use. And of course, my video image. So we're going to get that down there. And we will add in our base color. Again, when you start with a figure like this, you need to assign one color that will basically cover the entire model. And then we can start painting from there. So we're going to go and use shader nodes here. And we're going to turn the specularity down and the roughness up. Specularity is one of the few things that will translate into the final product. That controls how shiny and reflective certain surfaces. The roughness we don't get any benefit of, but the reason I turn it up here while we're working, it just makes it easier to see what we're doing if the light in the scene here in Blender is not reflecting on anything. And so we're going to start with, I guess her skin we can do. She has kind of this pasty gray skin. And I think we're just going to try and kind of keep that as the base color. And we'll, maybe that's not such a good idea. Maybe we will just, I think we're just going to have her be pretty dark here. And that's just easier to select on. I'll show you here in a second. If we go into select mode, you can really see the selection. Whereas if you have a lighter color here, the selection fades a little and it's not quite as easy to see. Excuse me one moment. Thank you. And those of you who are regular viewers can appreciate, once again, my noisy clock. But we're going to set this as a base color, nice and dark, not black, but dark enough. Okay, so first things first, let's do our stage. And again, this is an Eldritch Foundry figure as opposed to Hero Forge or some other source. And the reason that we're doing that, when in doubt, or when we have no reason to not do it that way, we are going to be using Eldritch Foundry. It's eldritch-foundry.com is the site. If you guys want to go there and check out their product, great figures, great prices, and specifically for us for painting, the way their models are created makes the selecting and isolating various bits and pieces of the model much easier than some of the other figure providers. So we are going to be working with them, and the first thing we're going to do here is select a chunk of the stage, and then we're going to do our old friend select linked, which is Control L, or we can get it off the select menu here. Select linked, and you can see the shortcut Control L. And that's going to select everything that's linked to the faces that we have selected. You can see it didn't get the entire stage. That's because the stage here is in 2 pieces. So we just simply go and select any part of that, do Control L once again, and now we have our entire stage linked. So we're going to add our material for that. And typically we just have the completely black stage. Again, at Eldritch Foundry, like a lot of the others, you can do different things with the stage, get different textures, get different types of state, different things, and even items down on the stage. For our purposes right now, we're not doing anything fancy like that. So we're just going to assign this. And we will deselect that, and you can see now we have a nice black stage. It doesn't look all that different from the rest of the figure, which we have pretty dark, but it is in fact black. And now next. How about, boy, she's lots of dark colors here. Why don't we start with her skin? And let's get that set in at least an initial color. So it looks to me like, if I took a quick look at this, it looks like her head is one mesh, and then maybe the rest of her is the other. So we're going to go ahead, going to select part of her face. We're going to do Control L. Going to do Control L. Okay, and that selects her, basically her head. And we're going to do that there, and we're going to do, remember, in order to do your Control L, you've got to get out of select mode. You can see we're still got our circle here, so you can right click, get out of select mode, and then Control L. And that's going to select the rest of her skin. And you can see we've got a little burn through here, and that's perfectly okay, because we can always go in, and you can see when we get closer, it's really just kind of a visual thing. But if we want to get that, and here you can actually see some skin that is coming through the actual clothes there, and I think we're fine with that. Maybe not. I don't think it's really that critical, but if you really want to get this stuff, the other thing is, are we counting this as bare skin here? Is that what we want to do? I don't know what else it would be. Maybe part of the dress? Well, yeah, because this skin is running up here, so let's do this. Let's see what happens when we do that. Okay, that selects the entire gauntlet there. I don't think we want to do that. Interesting. But I do think we want to select this as skin. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to do this part manually. The reason I think this is because you can tell this skin mesh here is clearly arm. We've got some shirt there, and then that ran right up into here. So I think instead of trying to fight that, we're just going to go with it. Remember, for selection, we're using the circle selector, mouse wheel to make it bigger or smaller, left click to select, center click, or mouse wheel click if you have a mouse wheel button, to deselect if you select something that you shouldn't, and then right click to get out of select mode altogether. Okay, it looks like we got a little bit more up here. And then we've got a bit of a question with what's going on right here. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to make it all bare skin. Just because we've got a nice line here. And when you're dealing with selecting only triangles, whenever you've got a nice clean line to select, it's best to do that because even if it's not, if you look and it's not really what is intended in the model, the jagged edges are really tend to stand out more than really anything else that you can do there. So I think I like this. That looks good. And we'll talk about getting rid of this stuff, this kind of burn through here, because remember there is just skin under this. This mesh is really running under the clothing here, and that's why we're seeing a little bit of it come through there. But we can get rid of that real easily, and I'll show you how in a second. So again, we've got her forearm, and then we've got a little bit more kind of going up here, and we're going to just take that and run with it. That's kind of one of my philosophies with doing this. Take what the model is giving you. And again, if it's not perfect, if you've got some rough edges, if you've got some areas where you're not sure what's what, it's not the end of the world. A lot of this stuff is going to be very small when it's all said and done, and you just will probably notice a lot less than you think you might. See, we actually are coming through underneath all of this here from over there. Whoa. Okay, center click to clean that overspray up. And I think a little bit more there. Yep. Okay, a couple more spots here. And we've got this, which looks to be part of the shirt. We did that over here and we kind of glossed over it, but I don't think it's nearly as prevalent over here. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave this as is. All right, so, and the skin even reached down. You can see her actual body is all the way down to her feet. And selecting all of that is spectacular. All right, So let's get something assigned here. And we haven't saved this yet, so we're going to want to do that. So this is going to be skin 01. And then again, we really just have a gray, pretty light gray, but gray skin. And we're going to go with that, and we may adjust it kind of along the way, give or take, whatever else happens. So, as long as we've got that done, why don't we move in and do some work on her face here? We can do her eyebrows, which are black. You know, lots of black on this model. It's a beautiful thing. Oh yeah, we didn't handle that burn through. Okay, so let's do this here first. Yeah, and this is just going to be black. Guess we could leave a little bit, but I don't think it really matters. Okay, so if we select our skin once again, and you can see, as I indicated, there's a couple of places where we get a little what I call burn through. It's just kind of anomalies in the model, but if we want to get rid of that, and I don't think that that will ever really show, but if you want to get rid of it, the best way to do it, and you got to be careful with this to make sure you're not doing anything on the back of the models. We can go into wireframe mode here, and oh boy, so it's going to be right here. I don't know if I can. Okay, so see, and I'm just going to deselect some of the stuff that's in that area. Again, all this, what we're seeing here is we're seeing her body, which is completely selected, which is so cool and so useful. And why not? Why wouldn't we do it that way? That is just excellent. But just from some weirdness with the model, sometimes we get some of this burn through here. And you can see it's really, you get further away, and I think that's more a Blender thing really than anything with the model. And this is actual a gap in the clothing right here, so I'm not going to do anything with that. But let's see, we've got a little bit up here. Yeah, I guess I'm just not going to worry about it. I don't think that it's something that ever comes into play when it's this slight and when you can make it go away simply by zooming. So we got this one. That was really kind of the only one. I guess we could kind of look around back here. And again, we get a little further away, and I think that's Blender doing that. Although I guess here we could, let's see, we're not even deselecting anything here. I'm clicking like crazy. So I'm going to go ahead and call that a Blender anomaly, and we're going to leave it go. And if we see a problem later on, we can always deal with it then. All right, so eyebrows done. Why don't we do her eyes? Okay, and we're gonna, again, because we know if you were with us for the mind flare, these eyeballs really are balls, and I'm gonna show you what I mean by that. We're gonna go back, we're behind her head here, and we're just gonna move in here, and we're gonna move, whoa, we're gonna move right into the model. And there are actually her eyes. You can see the eyebrows up here. And so these are individual meshes separate from the rest of it. So when we do our Control L, I think I must have deselected that. Well, I'll show. We can select from in here. And then we can do Control L. Whoa, hey, that's interesting. What happened there? Are these connected some way? All right, so let's grab this and let's grab this. And let's do Control L from this side. Okay, so whatever I was grabbing on the inside there must have been some part of the skull that the eyes maybe were in. I guess we could go in there and take a look around if we were really that curious. But I'm not. I'd rather spend some time making her look good. So this again, I'm going to leave a little specularity here for her eyes. They are wet. So a little reflection here and there is reasonable. And so we'll assign that. And then her eyes just look very dark. Maybe some purple. We're going to put some eyeliner on her too, and maybe we can highlight the purple that way. But I think what we'll do here is we will I'm going to grab this and this, and we are going to, come on folks, remind me when I missed that. We're gonna make these purple. It's just gonna be very dark purple. I want her eyes just very dark. So again, a little bit of specularity, and we will go into the purple and dark purple. Let's assign that. Maybe darker. All right. And now we're going to grab the pupils. That's easy enough. And as we mentioned, lots of black for this character. Right? She seems to have some purple lipstick on, so why don't we do that right away as long as we're here? And then and then we'll do something with her eyeliner. So let's take a look at now this is because the lips are just part of the skin mesh, we can't do any kind of sneakiness or shortcuts with our selection, although we can try a couple of things because we do have some other tools. So why don't we try that, and I'll show you what we're going to do here. We're going to go and use our friend the select more function. So let's start by selecting just one line of the lip here, and one line of the lip here, more or less. All right. And let's do Control plus. And again, and again, and again. At least once or two more times here, probably. There, it looks pretty good. How are we feeling about that? I think I like that. And then now what we're going to do is just follow these lines down right to the corners of her mouth. And if you can see how this mesh works, it's very cool. This is the line we're looking at here. And it goes down, you follow it down here. Whoops. Again, Control Z when you do dumb things like that. And you can see that this line just curls right around and comes right back up and meets right here. So actually we did that just about perfectly. So we do this, whoop, and right to here. And we're gonna zoom in here to, whoa, see, we're inside of her mouth here. You can see what we have and don't have selected. It's pretty interesting. For those of you that have watched other streams or videos, you've seen that sometimes it makes some good sense to go inside the model, for lack of a better term, and do some selecting that way. But right now, I think we are going to grab this. Let's move across to the other side. And again, hopefully we've got the same thing. I suspect we do. See, this line goes down here, whoa, and then right around. And if we pivot a little bit, you can see it comes right back out to match up perfectly right here. That is just fantastic. And I got a little more cleanup to do in here. See, again, we're looking at the inside here. And if you want to be safe, you can grab some more while we're in here just to make sure that you got it all. But don't think that's going to be too much of an issue. All right. And guess what we're going to call this? And I'm just looking over at the actual image here to try and get kind of a read on this. Let's all right, well, we're going to go ahead and assign this, but I have another idea. Again, lips might be a little bit shiny, so we're going to leave that specularity up there just a touch. We're going to go into purple again, and pretty dark purple, but definitely purple. All right, so let's deselect that. All right, I like that. Might be a little dark based on the, and again, I'm just using the art that was published on belloflostsouls.net, sorry, and I'm sure other places as well. Kind of as a rough reference. Again, we're taking some reasonable artistic liberty here, artistic license. All right. And sometimes what I like to do with the lips is have a darker row around the outside, but I don't know if that's really even going to be a thing here. I just don't think that it's necessary because the lips are so dark anyway. So let's not do that for now. We can always add it later if it's something we think she needs. But what I do like to do, and definitely for her, is put some eyeliner around here, some dark eyeliner. And again, we're working with the skin mesh, so we can't get can't do too much in the way of convenience. But we're going to use the select more method. It's not quite as clean and nice as when we do it for the lips, but we'll see. This model might be different. I'm just going to pick a line here, and I'm going to go right around. And then we'll just do the select more trick, and let's see how it looks. Let's see what the corner of the mouth is so nice and clean for us. Let's see what happens when we get over here. Oh, this looks pretty good actually. So you can see what I'm saying when there's just a nice line that we're gonna go ahead and just follow. And we will see if we follow it well enough, if it's going to, whoa, is that right? I don't think that's right. I think this is right. See, and that's how you can kind of get off kilter here. Question is, and the question is, how much does it matter? It'd be nice if we met up perfectly on the other side, kind of like we did with the mouth, but that's not always going to be the case. So let's just run up from this side because we've got, this is nice and clean and easy to follow. And see, we're off one here. So I wonder what I want to do. I think this is the problem right here. So let's do this. And again, it's not super critical that this be actually perfectly in line, but as long as we're doing this and we're kind of using this as an example, there we go. And so now we can do our select more, and we're going to probably come up right around here, maybe even up one. She's got kind of a gothy look to her. So Control plus, Control plus. All right. What do we think on that? I think I want another one. Take a closer look here. And she may actually even have some kind of purplish eyeshadow going on, which we might want to do. But let's, this we're going to go back and we're going to do, boy, I can't get anything. I'm typing like crazy. Let's, oh, I don't know what's going on with me. All right, so we're going to call this eyes 04. This, I don't want any shiny. Again, we're going to go sticking with our purple theme here, but this one's going to be very, very dark. Yeah, much better. Much better. So let's save this. And let's do her other eye. And here we're going to bump into the hair. That's fine. So let's find a nice, I think this is about the same line we used over there on the other eye. Yikes. Whoa, is this the line? Looks like it. Here. And we're going to go into the head here in just a second and see. just kind of as much as a thought experiment as anything else. Okay, so the question is, no, this looks pretty good here. All right, so let's, there we go. Look at that. So let's see, how'd we do? How did we do? Boy, it's hard to tell here. Can we go and do this? Whoa, look at that. Oh, and it's perfect. Gotta love it. Now, we didn't need to do that. That connection didn't need to be made fully, but I did want to know if we did have a nice closed loop, just to make sure there's no weirdness when we start doing our control pluses here. And so now we need to figure out, did we do the same thing? And you might be saying, well, why didn't we select one line here and then one line over here and then do our control plus? And we could have done that, but we would have had to make sure we had the same line on both sides. And what I usually like to do to make sure that things are at least reasonably symmetrical, and again, this is eyeliner, so it's hardly, the precision application thing. I guess I would know more than a lot of people, but so if we look at kind of the top of this roll of the eye here, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Boy, that's hard to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that sixth one is still on an angle. The seventh one is really kind of the flat part right there at the top. So let's see what we got over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we definitely need one more. There we go. So maybe a little extra work there, but not that big a deal. I'm going to just do a sign on that. Deselect on that. This in position there. Much, much better. So now, if we want to add a little eyeshadow, let's take a look at what we could do with that. Because again, remember, we have to be able to select, and the problem is we've got to kind of, if we're only selecting up here, we've got to end it somewhere, and we got to do that kind of without jagged lines. And so, see, even if we select here, you can see where this is going to come down and around. We don't want eyeshadow below. So how do we get from here kind of down to here? You know what I'm saying? So let's just get rid of this because we wouldn't want that anyway. And see if we can't get a reasonable line. This would just be, and I'm just doing this real roughly right now. See, and we get these big chunky transitions from one line to the next. And that's the kind of thing that actually really kind of stands out, even when you get down to, if we're back here, I mean, it's not terrible, but I just don't know. I guess if we did a really, really light color, it would be okay-ish. Well, let's take a few minutes just to do a little bit of experimentation. Then again, we kind of got to do the same thing on the back end. Of the eye. Here we can get a little help from the hair, because that creates kind of a natural, nice angle for us. That we would not, there's not going to be any jaggedness to it. And I guess we could, see, the further up we go, the more we're going to risk this. So let's just try this. And see what we think. And her eyeshadow definitely is, well, you guessed it, purple. At least it's not black. So let's get into purple here. See, this I want to be, I don't want it pink. Now let's try this. Let's deselect this. So see, even from here I can see that jagged edge, but back here I cannot. It's actually not bad at all. And we can just fade it out a little bit more, make it even more subtle. I actually really like that. Although her eyes in the artwork are much darker. Much darker. What happens if we darken this? Well, that's not bad either. That's actually pretty good. All right. Guess I'm sold. So let's go and let's do it on the other side. And so we can kind of say, okay, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines, and it really starts really kind of right at the point down here. Why don't we do this? Why don't we just do 1, 2, 3, 4, wow, 7, 6, 7. All right. Okay, so let's do the easy part. And we're getting the hair assist once again. Actually, I don't know if that's a thing or not, but I like that line better. All right, and then let's follow this line. And at the bottom here, what did we have? How many lines do we have down here? 4? 3, 4. Okay. That went for 2. Then we went up one here. Can we do that? Ooh, wait a minute. Hold the phone. No, no. At some point, we've got to meet up here. Yeah, it doesn't look the same. But again, doesn't have to. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, okay, we're missing a line here. That might explain some of it. Okay, now that looks a little bit closer. Dink and dink and dink. All right, let's try that. Assign, deselect. Yeah, sure. Why not? I like that. All right, let's save that. So, I guess as long as we're here, let's do her hair. Just make sure we're not getting anything else goofy here. Is one of her ears coming through? A little bit, that's fine. We're not going to see it, but that's another one of those blender thingies. All right, so I'm going to get the lips up here. And outside of a little street, is this really? I don't know. It's hard for me to see if there's purple. Her hair is really dark. So why don't we do that and then just take this down to basically black. Sign that. All right, let's save that. Now she does have a streak of white in her hair. Now in the art, it's kind of pulled back over the top. But here, we've kind of got to make a decision on what we want to do with that. And it's either going to be this, whoa, or it's going to be on the other side. Let's try it here first. Let's just try grabbing some of this stuff and see where we get. You know, I think what we're really looking for is up here. Is going to be some sort of decent curve without really going crazy or having it be too jagged. And again, it's not a problem to have things fluctuate a little. I mean, it is hair after all, but we just don't want those jagged edges. do we want this much? Can we get away with one less on the top here? Wow. Let's try that. I like that better. Or maybe hold the phone. Maybe it's one less on the bottom and on the top. This is going to be, wow. Wow. I am mouse challenged tonight. Let's get a better look at this. And at some point we are going to have to transition this down. Looks like we've got plenty of opportunity to do that. Let's see where it leads us. And we could actually conceivably come all the way down. Okay, there's a definite transition here in the mesh, so we'll have to watch for that. So let's actually zoom in here a little bit. The question is, do I want to take one of these opportunities to thin this? I think so, because that's kind of a decent transition there. Maybe not. Well, let's keep going. We can make decisions as we want. I'm just going to follow this line down, and here's this transition in the mesh, and this I think is what we're going to use. This actually looks perfect. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is going to be nice. So, and it's a little sharp here, and we've got another here, but I think if we go any further here, we're going to really run into an issue. And again, I don't think we want to be too crazy with this. And this kind of looks like a fat old belly here. I don't like that. But we are slightly transitioning down. Otherwise, what happens if we do this? And see, as soon as this is where that curve ends. So I think that's kind of our transition of last resort there. All right, so yeah, let's try this. This is going to be, this is one of those things, especially we're going to be, we're trying to have people be able to identify this character, even though it's a different pose and obviously a very different picture in the end from the original art. We still want people to be able to look at it and go, oh yeah, I see that. And so having this lightish streak of color here, yeah, I think that's great. We might want it to be lighter still because it's kind of matching her skin, although interestingly, in the original art there, it does kind of match her skin. So do we want to make this a little darker? Yeah, I think so. I think that actually is a little bit better. Man, this irregular angle right there is bugging me. Let's see what we can do about that, if anything. Yeah, it's just kind of the way it is. Question is, do we want to grab another row here and come all the way down with it? No, I don't think we can. I think this is the end of it right here. And if we come down, whoa. If we try to get past here, because again, you can see where the mesh really changes flow here. What we would have to and I'm doing this just for kind of a visual here. See what see that we're getting into a much sharper angle there. I guess it's not that much sharper. Okay, so here I don't care about selecting the gray color because we're going to be assigning all of it anyway. Okay, and that cleans up that line. Oh, but we already are coming down a line. If we want to do that, if we want to grab another line from up here, this one, that means we're going to not only have this coming down, we're going to have another one. All right, so let's take a look at that. Two more. Boink, boink. Well, that's fine. I think that's fine. Oh, wait, yeah, it's going to be this one and this one. So let's run this down here before we get ahead of ourselves and see what this looks like. This corner's, it's not bad. Not bad. Okay, I'm in. So let's, and while I do want this aspect of her hair to be somewhat subtle, like I said, it is one of the things about the character that's pretty, you know, hey, honest. Oh, we got to go all the way around again if we want to do this. All right. Well, in for a penny, in for a pound, right? And if this ends up hideous when we get down to the end here, well, boy, up close I want her to have some lip liner too, but okay, oh yeah, no problem, no problem. And let's assign that, get rid of that, and take a look at our handiwork. Okay, so we still got kind of a little thingy there, but it's not nearly as pronounced. Plus, the line on the way down is much nicer now. All right. I'm in. I am in. Okay, so let's save that. All right, all right. Sorry, I'm obsessed now. We're just gonna grab this outermost row and we're gonna darken it. Oh, what was that command? Right? Attention to detail. I'm all about it. Okay. And I put that cursor in the wrong spot. All right, so, oh, good God, what have I done? I've hosed up the interface. Let's see. Back to previous. Oh, thank you. So let's go with lips 02. And again, we're going to go to our nearly black, but still technically purple. Assign. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to take a very, very quick break while I fix this cursor that I put in the wrong position. I know how to do that, I just don't remember. And I'm not going to fumble around while you guys are watching. So I'm going to grab a beverage, visit the restroom, and fix that, and I will be right back. And just like that, we're back. All right, so let's take a look at her. Okay, so what are we going to do next? Clothes or skull? How about flaming skull? Let's do the flaming skull. That looks like it could be fun. Or do we do that last? Maybe we should do her clothes first. So she's got kind of this purplish top with red accents. So let's get back into edit mode here. And let's grab her top and see what that selects us. All right, I think the question is she does have different they're not frilly sleeves like this. But they are kind of a reddish, so I think we're gonna, or do we want these kind of wraps here to be the red and have this still be the purple? Let's try that. And we're gonna grab this over here. Okay. Okay, so again, this is going to be let's see if we can actually, I know I can get an eyedropper. I know I can't drop out eyedropper outside of Blender. That's a shame. So this is, we're going to have to try and get the purple that we need here. So we're going to purple it up. And I think it's purple more on the red side of things. Boy, that's a weird, definitely darker. Dark, whoa, not that dark. It's more on the blue side. Let's try that. And it does look like it's a little translucent. Ugh. Transparency we can do, but it's very expensive computationally and file size wise. So let's see what this does. Assign. Did that assign? Okay. It's actually not the worst match based on this picture. And you can see we're actually seeing skin through here. I think we need to see less of that. Oh, it's got a point where it's really kind of either off or on. All right, well, that's fine. Kind of like that. I think the color's actually pretty good. All right, so let's save this. Okay, so now this waist cincher thing, she actually has something like that, which is mostly, in her case, just belts, which are kind of, we're gonna make the actual, this part of it black. Sure. And no, it's really not part of our blouse, but it'll help us identify it later on And that's going to be more and more of a thing. As you're doing this, if you start working on figures, be descriptive with these names, and I'll show you why at the end of the stream with what we're working on right now. Pretty cool, not gonna lie. So let's just, assign, and then this is kind of like, we're gonna go with sort of a, I guess, a leather. Ooh. So we're gonna have to do this and this and this. And well, let's do this first. So this is going to be, we have to do a little free-handage here. And this is going to be kind of representing the leatherish of the belts that she has on. Just kind of get into here, darken that up, make it kind of a brownish. Sign that. There we go. Pretty dark, but that's okay. Would actually kind of like to grab these. Is this, yikes. Okay. Let's freehand these. I want these to stand out to be a different color. This will be pretty easy. And I think we're going to, oh yeah, look at that. And this goes right up into there. Alrighty. We're just going to come all the way down this one side here. Is that part of, no. This we're going to do. Where do we want to define this? Yeah, that's fine. And I wouldn't necessarily go to this length on every model that I'm painting, but for a couple of reasons. Number one, this is Critical Role stuff, and number two, with this model being very, I don't know, there's not a ton of, color differences jumping out all over the place. So I really kind of want to, oh, we got to grab some more here. This, this. But because there's not a ton of color and contrast on the model itself, I'm going to kind of go a little bit above and beyond on some of this stuff to um, give us some of that. And this is a pretty easy select out here on this deal. Yeah, well, that's fine. This one looks a little easier to isolate. You can see the transparency. It's kind of cool. And yes, transparency will come in to X3D and will be visible on the keep. I will caution you, however, use transparency sparingly. It will make your file sizes large, and it will make your scenes load more slowly. So if you need to, you want to, that's fine. But be cognizant of it. It's very, I guess, computationally expensive, and it's certainly expensive when it comes to the size of your models. Both the Imogen and the Ashton Graymore figures we did both have some more transparency than this, and they are in the neighborhood of 20 megabytes, and that's almost twice the size of most normal other figures. And again, it's not the end of the world. It's just a few extra seconds to load those models into scenes. But just again, be cognizant of it and use it when you need it. And when you don't need it, don't do it just for kicks. Unfortunately, it's not free. What did we do on the other side here? Yeah, that goes right to the edge. Here, we grabbed this extra on the other side there, and I'm going to do the same thing here, including this and this. Okay, and we're going to do another brownish. This I think will have not be quite so dark, so it kind of pops out a little bit and is more noticeable. Boy, I don't like that at all. Yeah, this stuff cannot be part of this. Okay, so we're just going to reselect this, this, this. I'm going to take a closer look at all this in a second, but that stuff's not going to matter. Okay, okay, okay. Okay. And this is going to be below, so 2. Assign that. Deselect that. All right, that's mucho better. All right. Let's save that. So, now, what do we want to do here? What is next? Just keep going down. And the bottom part of her dress is pretty much black. And I think we've got some red highlights here and there. Well, we were going to do this up here. Let's do these sleeve type things. So let's do this and this. Oh boy. We're going to have to do some deselecting where we want our skin showing through here. But again, deselecting is pretty easy. Wait, I wonder, we can do this a better way. We just go skin, deselect. There we go. That's what we want to do here. Okay, so now these we're going to have be kind of the red. There's a lot of red highlight in her outfit in the original art, so we're going to make these, again, this. And we're going to have dark red. little too dark, maybe. There we go. And then she's got some other kind of goldish highlights on her top. I think what we can do is honor that with these kind of lace type situations here. Or do we just want to, I think what we're going to do for that, we're going to go and use this. Keep this kind of lace color the same. All right, so let's save. Well, let's, so her top is done. Do we want to make this part of the top the same as the top part of the top? You know, and because the bottom part of the dress here is so big, I think we actually do want to do that. So let's see what this selects here. Perfect. And then this is going to be Blouser 1. Assign that. That's better. That's better. So we might as well just do this. Okay, so this is just, this is, and again, this is just going to be, it's, I don't know, it's hard to say. It looks black. It might have, again, a touch of purple. So why don't we do this? And again, basically black. With just a smidge of purple there. And we're going to freehand some of this down here. Yeah, because there's definitely a lighter kind of shade of, well, I guess, purple. So why don't we, let's save this. Why don't we do her belt and her accessories up here, because they're going to be quick and easy. I think what we want to do, let's see what we select with this. Okay, excellent. And this again, I think we just want to be, it's going to be that same red, I think. Yeah. So instead of, we're going to just go, and here we are going to use our eyedropper to just copy what we've got going on there. And the reason I don't just assign it to the blouse color is in case we want to change these at any point independently of one another. That's something that might happen. Whereas with these laces, we just use the same actual material slot. I don't see the laces needing to be different colors. All right. So we've got our potion bottle of poison here. And again, I'm going to make this more of a metal potion bottle as opposed to a glass one. Poison is often kept in metal flasks. Perfect. And we can do a decent metal here, and then that saves us the cost of the transparency. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to make this kind of a grayish metal, and then we're going to turn the specularity up, and just for then you can kind of see we get a shiny metal container. And now we can go with the cork. Okay, and we've got some straps here. And these again, I'm going to give them their own slot. These we're going to have be kind of a very light right? And now we've got this super cool skull and crossbones. Yikes. Kind of that bleh, green. Bleh. Yuck. There we go. Let's save this. We've got a scroll case over here with all sorts of business going on. All right, well, let's see what's what here. Perfect. So I guess we'll start with a base kind of leather. A little lighter. Okay, and the end cap. Okay, so we're gonna do, let's do this. Because these end caps are one mesh, we're gonna do this. Yoink. We're gonna do plus, plus, and I've screwed it up. Select none. All right, so let's take a closer look at this. There we go. Hello. Okay, and we're going to go over to the other side here. I just want to grab these actual caps here. Okay, I know what to do. Okay, and then let's go kind of out here, and we can watch that creep around as we Control plus here. Okay, we'll do it here and we'll just check on the other side. Oh, you can actually see, oh, that's pretty sweet. It's gonna go all the way around. All right, that's good enough. And here, okay, good. All right, so let's do, so these I want metal. So this is gonna be specular. And we're going to just make it kind of a gold. Sign that, deselect. Okay, so now we got shiny. Now, we're going to get the rest of it, and you might say, oh, but wait, aren't we going to get those end caps too when we do our, and we are, but then we can just deselect out the stuff we've already done, and now we just get that remaining. So let's do this. And in situations like this, what colors you're choosing really is just 100% personal preference. What I like to do in situations like this is just kind of have high contrast for something like this. Um, it's so small. Um, we've got a strap that's going around here, and then we've got looks like some sort of seal. Whoa. So this seal, this will be easy. This is interesting. Let's see what we can do with this. All right. And let's see how we do on just increasing this. Actually, we probably could have just controlled L that. I don't know what I'm thinking. Yep. And this, we're going to have it be, boy, you know, I like kind of a dark red wax, but we've got so much dark red on this model already. Let's get something else. How about a dark blue kind of seal? Let's stay away from purple. Lots of purple too. Assign that. Sure, why not? And then this, let's just see what our linkage gives us. Perfect. Yeah, and I'm going to make this the same shiny goldish yellow type of thing as the end caps. And then this strap, see if we get the whole thing here. Nope, that's fine. I'm just out of curiosity, but I'm just going to grab this and get all of that. And then this is going to be, let's get a nice dark brown for this. Again, when in doubt, have some contrast. This is going to be very small on the finished figure. So let's So let's make sure a couple of things can stand out. And maybe these black end caps are not the best idea in the world. We have a lot of black on this model already. So what can we do with this? Yeah, let's try to get some kind of color there. But I don't want to get too kooky. I mean, it's just a scroll case, you know. I guess we can kind of do the blue thing. Darker. I think that's fine. All right. So we are going to do this lower hem here. And the question is, what's the best way? And I think the best way is to do a select more dealio. So we've got to find a nice clean line. What's going to be the easiest line to select here as we go around? I guess it's going to be one of these two. So we don't care how far around it selects under here. It's just going to go right, wrap up around here and into this void space, which we'll take care of. What we want to make sure is that we get it even up to here. So I think this is the line we want. Oop, and I poofed that one already. Wow, that was ugly. Well, again, I don't think it's going to be, well, it's going to be a little more critical on this one, but it is what it is. We'll do our best and we'll move on with our lives. We want to try and maintain one line below our selection and between the kind of curve under of the bottom here. So that's going to kind of be our guide. The technique that I'm using, I'm just looking for this diagonal line that basically bisects the rectangle that represents the segment that we're talking about here, the next chunk of the line, and that does not look right. I think I just got to get zoomed in a little here to make this. And again, just got one. Unfortunately, it's a lot of moving for not a lot of selecting. And we're making pretty good progress here. And the verdict is perfection. Blind luck. All right, so boink, boink, boink. And again, what's happening down underneath, we're not terribly concerned about. We can clean that up easy enough. What I want to get is a good clean line here. And we're going to have some cleanup, it looks like, here. That's fine. Okay, so we're definitely too far here. Okay, so let's minus that. And so I guess, well, let's kind of take a look around here. Okay, so this could conceivably be called one too much over here, but not enough for me to put any time into it, cleaning it up. I think it's fine. And then we get back around to here where this bump here kind of causes a little bit of an issue, and that's fine. But this will be easy cleanup. Trust me when I tell you, because I've done it different ways in the past with other figures. This way of grabbing and dealing with this hemline was much easier and cleaner than it might otherwise have been. Whoa. Huh. All right. And then this is just basically kind of this dress color we have here, which is where it has a very dark purple, almost black. And I guess we can maybe touch that up just a smudge. But here for this, we're going to do the copy trick again. This. We're going to grab the dress color, and then we're going to lighten that up. Assign that here. There we go. So what do we have to do? We have sandals, we have flaming skull. We're gonna save the fun part for last. Oh, and we got to do her nails too. So why don't we do some sandal action here? And I think we're gonna actually think we've dealt with these sandals before. We are going to, okay, we're going to grab the soles here. Perfect. Okay, so let's get this dress number 3 up where it belongs. Okay, these are the soles of the sandals, so we're going to make them almost black. Okay. And then what are we going to do next? Let's do like this upper here. Ooh, that's a lot. Okay, all right, well, that's fine. So let's do, and just because this all selects as, let me finish typing this, one part of the model here. If you wanted to do this, because you can see some different segmentation here. If you wanted to get in there and maybe this inset part you wanted to do a different color, you can surely do that. Absolutely, you can do that. What I would do is what we're doing here first, grab this and then color it all as one chunk and then go back in after the fact and kind of you know, if you wanted to, then I'm not going to do it right now, but then just grab all this stuff, you know, manually, and then you could darken this or do some other sort of stuff there. You certainly can. So let's grab here, and I like all these straps. I think are going to be the same. Oops. And I'm just doing basically various shades of brown. I mean, after all, they're sandals, right? And then what do we got here? Oh, that's interesting. So let's grab we've got laces, and then it looks like we've got some sort of, maybe we'll do that metallic. So let's go you, 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 you. You, view. All right, let's see how we did here. And oftentimes I will separate out the stage for working down in this area, but we're not going to be in there doing a ton of stuff, so not going to worry too much about that right now. Okay, so and these are the kind of laces. And here we just want very light color. There we go. And then let's grab this, grab that. Okay. This will end our Sandal quest. And this again, we're going to turn up the specularity on that. And this is going to be another kind of goldish color. That is going to have some shininess to it once we get into McCree's Keep. So let's save that. So we've got a mani-pedi to do here, and then we can do her flaming skull. Why don't we... I think what we're going to do is we're going to call the stream there. And see, we put our little crowbar in. I like it. I like it. I wish I had more options for her dress. I did not. But, well, you can't have everything, right? So, but I like what we've got going on here. I like what we did with the hair. You know, and actually, if we wanted to get kind of crazy with that, we could take one of these and run black down the middle and really kind of set that off. We'll see. We'll see. Ooh, our eyeliner is quite shiny. Did we? No, I don't think we meant to do that. There we go. And again, you can see our kind of jagged lines here, but when we get out to a reasonable viewing distance, which really is more like this, yeah, there's no nothing. Okay, so on tomorrow's stream, we will do several things. We are going to do her manicure and her pedicure. We're going to do the flaming skull, and then we're going to get her into the keep, and I'll show you what we're working on right now, which is super cool. Once you get a figure painted, however it is, when you bring it into the system, you're going to be able to actually alter any of the colors. Anything that you've broken out in this list will be modifiable in the system. So you could take a figure and change the clothes, colors only, of course, and then even copy it to another actual figure. So you can have multiple versions of your character's figure. You want to change your character's hairstyle. Maybe she's got different lipstick on today, different color clothes. You can do all that sort of stuff without having to come back into Blender. And it's really even easier than what we're doing here. Basically, you select what you're working on from a list, and you've got controls that are not too dissimilar from this to modify the colors. And we will show you that tomorrow. But for now, thanks for watching. Remember to follow if you're on Twitch. If you're watching this on YouTube, please make sure to like and subscribe, I believe the term is over there. We'd really appreciate it. And watch for further updates on social media. Once again, thanks for watching. We will see you tomorrow.